Hello, it's Melanie here from Penney and Associates Injury Lawyers, and today I'm interviewing Stuart Galbraith. And Stuart, the question of the day for you is, who is responsible for dog bite personal injuries? It's a pretty big question.
Thank you. Dog bite injuries. Well, in California, dog bite cases are governed by strict liability. So the owner of a dog would be strictly liable for any injuries from a dog bite. So that's pretty important because it is different than most injury type cases in that we have strict liability as opposed to having to prove negligence on the part of the dog owner. So that's the easy part in California. If you get bit by a dog, there's strict liability. If you can identify the owner of the dog or the caretaker of the dog, there would be strict liability. In that case, we'd be able to recover for medical bills necessary for the injuries, lost earnings, so if you miss time from work because of the injuries, and not most importantly, but certainly an important part of it would be the pain and suffering from a dog bite, which, I mean, in my experience, I've handled dog bites where there's been some, severe injuries, and others not so severe, but still very traumatic. So the pain and suffering would be, as the name implies, from the pain of the injury itself, but also for emotional stress, the trauma, being bitten by a dog. I mean, that can affect you for a long time, as well as any scarring, emotional scarring or physical scarring. So we would have past emotional problems, and maybe in the future, if you've got the permanent scarring, what's that going to be worth? So these are all things that we can recover in a dog bite case, strict liability. This is all the easy part, okay? Yeah. The more difficult part is actually getting the money that the injured party deserves if they're bit by someone else's dog. Because a lot of dog owners, they're not going to just write you a check. So you want to be able to find insurance if you can, and that is really the most difficult part of a dog bite case, is whether or not there's any insurance that would cover it. So if the owner of the dog has homeowners insurance, so if they own a home, that's where we would go. We would look for the homeowner's insurance, but if they're renting, not very many renters carry renter's insurance, but some do. That would be where we would go. But unfortunately, in a lot of cases, there is no insurance available, and that makes it difficult to pursue the dog bite case. But that's certainly something we would look into. Anytime a call comes in on a dog bite, that would be one of the first things we look into, is whether or not there's insurance available.
Wow. Okay. So property insurance, and that's interesting.
Yeah, homeowners and renter's insurance.
Yeah, renter's insurance. I didn't even think that would be related to a dog bite, but that's interesting. All right.
And there's one more thing I'd like to add on the dog bite, is that there's a possibility of getting landlord liability. So if you're a tenant, you own a pit bull or a Rottweiler, and your landlord knows you have that dog and allows you to keep that dog, and that dog has a dangerous propensity, or it's known to be vicious, and the landlord knew about that, and the landlord could be liable. And so that's important to always look into as well. As an attorney who fields a phone call from a potential client, you want to ask all of those questions, obtain all of that information, and that way you can make an informed decision on whether you can move forward with pursuing the claim.
So if somebody's like out in a public place and they get a dog bite, could a park owner be liable, or the city, or?
Typically, no.
Okay.
The liability would go to the owner of the dog, or the person in charge or caretaking of the dog.
Interesting. All right. Well, perfect. Thank you so much, Stuart.
Absolutely. You're welcome.
All right. Take care.